guys, it's Maddie. I just filmed a video on what CNA school is like and just all of the things, and I wanted to film kind of like an advice video on just tips for new drivers. And you guys are probably like, is this girl even old enough to drive a car? Yes, your girl's 18. I did get my license when I was 16. I got my permit at 15. So I've been driving for like 2.5 years. So I got my permit when I was 15 and a half, because someone's going to try to get smart with the math. And I just wanted to give you guys some tips that I wish someone would have been like, hey, let me tell you what's up. And I would have been, probably wouldn't have listened, but if you clicked on this, hopefully you are willing to listen. So the first thing is, if you went the traditional route and like got your permit and drove around with your parent and did all of that stuff, then this first one's really gonna apply to you. It is completely different being alone, driving. There is like no one to help you with directions, to double like check or be like, hey, someone's coming, like none of that. If you're lost or like you think you know where you're going and then you take a wrong turn, like there's no one to help you get back on track. Normally when that would happen, I would pull over and type it in on my phone. Don't try to do it while driving. That's another point. But just pull over. It's better to be late and alive than, you know, they're on time or early and you're hurt or someone else is hurt. And like if you total your car and kill yourself, like you're never gonna make it to the place anyway. And that sounds really cruel, but it's the truth. So something we did is we got a magnet and it says new driver when I got my license. And I feel like a lot of people when they get their license are like, I've been driving for like 6 months or a year and I'm not a new driver. I'm still considered a new driver. 2.5 years is not a very long time compared to how long my parents have been driving, or, you know, my grandparents. And this magnet, when you're, again, driving alone and maybe you take a wrong turn or you go the wrong way down a one-way, or like stuff happens, guys, and people start honking at you and all this stuff, people are a lot more likely to show grace and be more polite if you have a magnet or something that lets them know, hey, this is a new driver, relax. Because when you're first starting out and people are honking at you, it can get really overwhelming really fast, and you can't like shut down or like have a panic attack. You need to get somewhere safe. We got a magnet that just stuck on my bumper, and if I would be taking another vehicle, I would just take it off and stick it to the other vehicle's bumper. I will link it in the description. We got ours off of Amazon. I'm guessing it was relatively cheap, and I actually kept it on for the first 6 months I was driving, because people were a lot nicer to me. I was really struggling. Like, I like to drive slow, and people were being really mean sometimes, and I would, like, take things to heart. Like, if someone flipped me off, I was like, oh my god, they hate me. And my parents were like, okay, this is not gonna work. So that was really helpful. The next thing is just to, know what to do in an accident. So something, it's always good to carry, like, a notebook and a pen. Talk with your parents. What I was told, or what I would do, you need to get a picture of their license, a picture of their license plate, and as long as you have that, then you should be good. I had a girl hit me and give me a false number and like run. It was like a hit and run situation, and she was never able to we never got her to fix my sister's car. When she was completely at fault. So just talk with your parents, know who to call. You know, rule of thumb for me, if it's really bad and someone's hurt, then you call the cops. No matter what, if it's something where they're willing to talk to you and all that stuff, then just call your parents. But I would get out and take a picture of their license plate first and foremost, because if they do hit and run, or if they whatever, the cops will be able to track them down. The next thing is just put your phone away. Honestly, if you cannot refrain, put it somewhere. There are apps that will like disable notifications and text people like, hey, I'm driving, I'll get back to you. My phone, I have the Google Pixel 2, actually comes equipped with it. It knows when I'm driving. When I was riding with my mom today, it was texting people, I'm driving, I'll get back to you later. And I was like, wait, no, I'm a passenger. So I can just hit a button that says I'm not driving, and it disables it. But if you're actually driving, I would recommend leaving it alone. I even had to set it up to do it on my watch, because when it's buzzing and lighting up on your wrist, it's very difficult not to look. But in Texas, it is actually illegal for even adults to be on their phone, talking, texting, checking Instagram, whatever. The new rule is that you do have to be hands-free. I don't know about other states, so I can be hands-free with this, talking, and if your car has Bluetooth and things like that, but you do have to be the 18, I believe. When I was getting my license, you had to be 18 to talk on the phone. Texting was in the process of becoming illegal. It became illegal at some point, I believe. I don't really know what happened with that, but I think even if you live somewhere where it's completely legal to like drive around with a video playing right here, that doesn't mean you should do it. And this goes back to the whole like, you could die or kill someone. And I just can't imagine going to someone's funeral and being like, I'm sorry, I had to check Instagram, and so I accidentally killed your kid. Or I killed your mom. Like, can you imagine that? It, like, gives me chills. Ugh, no, I don't want to be responsible for someone else's death. I think that there are enough people not paying attention, and we're humans, and so even if we were all paying attention and trying to be perfect, there would still be accidents. So why would you increase the risk? Doesn't make sense. The next thing is just always wear your seatbelt. I have always been taught to wear my seatbelt. I get in my car and it's just muscle memory. I just always buckle my seatbelt. I've had people get in my car and they're like, oh, I'm not going to wear it. And I'm like, I'm not comfortable driving you around if you refuse to wear it. And again, in Texas, if you're 16 in the vehicle without a seatbelt on, I believe they give you the ticket. But if you're under 16 and you're in a car with someone, then they get the ticket. And it's not even about the ticket for me. My car does not have airbags. You're going to wear your seatbelt. I've had to tell people, like, I'm sorry, I will not drive you around if you refuse to wear your seatbelt. It's not that difficult. It's not that uncomfortable. You can wear a seatbelt for the 10 to 15 minute ride. Sometimes it's like 2 minutes. Put the seatbelt on. You wear it. You encourage your friends to wear it, because it's really not worth it. When I was in driver's ed, we watched a video of this girl that she lived and killed all of her friends in the car. And also, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, if you get into an accident, your body is going to fly around and hit everybody else's, and you could kill someone because your body is moving so fast. Just put your seatbelt on. This is one of those things that I just don't get why you wouldn't do it. It's built into the car. It's easy to wear. If it rubs on your neck, they have like $5 things you could put on there. Wear your stinking seatbelt. The next thing is just to watch other drivers. My parents used to tell me, we're not worried about you, we're worried about everyone else. And as I drove more and more, I saw what they were talking about. There are going to be people that are just horrendous drivers. Awful drivers. Hi there, baby. That you have to watch out for, unfortunately. What do you need? You need some loves. This isn't on the list, but I do just want to throw this out there as well. If you are driving someone around, when people would get into my vehicle, I would say, please tell me if I do anything that makes you uncomfortable while I'm driving. And if my phone rings, I'm going to need you to look at it. And if it's one of my parents, I will need you to answer it. Just kind of setting that up of, you tell me if I do anything and you answer my phone, and we'll be good to go. Because I was 16. But I had ridden with people before I got my license that would be on their phone or do things that just made me really uncomfortable, and I wasn't comfortable enough to tell them, and I never wanted anyone to feel that way. And even now, I drive pretty slow. I'm a pretty cautious driver, so I haven't had any complaints yet. I think I've had one of asking to turn the music down, which isn't really a complaint. But I do just like to throw that out there of, hey, I understand that I'm driving a potentially deadly weapon. Please let me know if you feel unsafe. You know, like, it's just a courtesy I like to extend. The next one is just know the laws. And this goes back to being on your phone, seatbelts. If your friend isn't going to wear a seatbelt, make sure that you do know the laws so that way you know who's going to get a ticket and you can tell them that. My car, it's just a rule, you wear it or I'm not taking you with me. I don't think that people should get to make that choice. Even adults in my car, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable driving you around. I'll ride with you and you cannot wear your seatbelt in the driver's seat. That's cool. But I will not do that. The next thing is familiarize yourself with your vehicle. So your gauges, look at them because some of them are numbered differently, like your speedometer, where your blind spots are, how to turn on your lights, your windshield wipers, things like that. I learned to drive in my mom's Suburban, and I had driven my car a handful of times. I do have an 83 El Camino. And I got into my car and it was completely different. Completely different. So just knowing where those things are, get in, familiarize yourself. Also, my new drivers out there, adjust your mirrors and everything as best as you can before you go. It is so overwhelming. I know we get in and we see our parents like adjusting while they're driving. It's so difficult when you're trying to drive and you are a new driver trying to adjust that. I still get in and adjust it now, my mirrors, and if there's something I need to tweak while I'm driving, that's different. But please. Also, if you're going to drive someone else's vehicle that you haven't driven either in a while or never driven, again, familiarize yourself, test out the waters, figure out what you're doing. The next thing is having rules for your friends. This is something, again, you're going to ride with me, you're going to wear your seatbelt, you're going to answer my phone if it's my mom or my dad, and it's kind of just the way it is. Also, you don't take videos, or you don't take pictures or videos with flash. That is distracting to the driver, especially at night. During the day, it's not a big deal. And if I'm driving, you don't get to play videos or games on your phone with sound because that can be very overwhelming, especially if it's loud and the radio's on and all of this stuff. And that's still a rule today. You don't play stuff out loud from your phone, and you don't, I'm not as strict. Like, if my sister's riding with me and she's taking a video and she wants to, like, hear what her video sounds like, okay. But, just kind of a standard rule. I don't want to hear your vines. I'm driving. So just having rules in place so that way everyone is on the same page and that you're not driving and you get overwhelmed and you're like, guys, like, these are my rules while you're driving. No. When they get in, you just tell them, these are my rules. If you're not okay with them, I mean, you don't have to be super rude, but just tell them these are my rules. Please respect them. I'm driving and it's for our safety. And I think if you just explain it from that point of view, they can't really argue with you. The next one is to lock your doors and don't sit in your car. So what I mean by this is I go to my car, lock the doors, and drive away. You don't want to sit there in your vehicle. It makes you a target. You're basically a sitting duck. You're easy to single out. In most vehicles, it's easy to see if just one person's sitting in them. And if you're sitting in them, you're easy to spot. It's just better to get in and go. Even during the day, parking lots can be very dangerous places. The next one is to carry stuff for your car. So I know, especially if you're a lady, you want to carry all your fun stuff in your car, but you also need to have actual things for your car. I'm actually editing my car emergency kit, like, for me, but I do keep stuff for my car in my car. So I have my spare tire, I have a fire extinguisher, jumper cables, and if I can fit it in my El Camino, you can fit it in your car. I promise you. It's up in my cab. I have like a windshield scraper. I think that's about it. So you don't have to carry a ton of things, but having these things can be very beneficial. The next one is just to carry pepper spray. Again, being a new driver, there are going to be times that you're alone and maybe and parking lots are dangerous, what I've already said, and maybe you have the best intention of going somewhere and getting out to your car while it's still light out or one thing or another, but maybe it gets dark. And also, parking lots are still dangerous during the day, and I think pepper spray is just something good to have in case someone tries to mug you one thing or another. I have just a plain black one that I keep in my car. I don't carry it like when I'm walking into school and things like that, because there's normally police there and students walking in with me, and that's fine. But normally, if I'm going into stores and stuff, I just put on my lanyard with my pepper spray and we just walk around. The next thing is try not to gas up at night. It adds just that next level of danger at night, I think, and it's just, honestly, I'm guilty of gassing up a lot at night. It's convenient. I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but it's safer to do it during the day because that way more people can see you and things like that, and it's just smarter. It's not the end of the world if you do have to do it at night, but I would just be smart about it. Stand by your car. I lock my door, my passenger door, because my gas is on my driver's side, so I lock the opposite door and I stand there to where with my pepper spray and my keys, but not with my wallet. I set my wallet back in my car behind my driver's seat because no one's going to be able to get in, and I stand there and gas up, and that way I'm not a target. I'm not holding my wallet, so I'm not a target to get mugged. And also, I normally leave my phone in the car. Again, not a target. I'm not distracted. I'm watching my car gas. Good to go. And yeah, keys and pepper spray both can be used as weapons, and I just kind of stand there and then get in my car, lock the doors, drive away. And normally, if I do it at night, I try to get as close to the store or as close as like the gas teller. Is that what they're called? As possible. The next thing, just always tell someone where you're going, preferably your parents. Let them know you do have this whole new sense of independence, but if something goes wrong, God forbid, if they can't tell the police or they have no idea where to look for you, it's going to make things a lot more difficult. Just tell them, hey, I want a candy bar, I'm running to the grocery store. Something my family did up until I got my Android, we're probably going to get an app to be able to share our location, is we did Find My Friends. My mom could see us, and it's not like she was crazy, like checking our location all the time, but if it was late at night, sometimes, Mama Bear got a little paranoid and wanted to know where we were. She wanted to know if we were close to coming home. And also it made it easier because if I was driving, she didn't have to text me and say, hey, where are you? Or try to call me. She could just look. I do think it's beneficial. I think it's smart. If anything ever happened to my mom and she wasn't responding and there was a chance that something bad happened, I would be able to say, this is where she is, or this is where she last was. This is where her phone is. And there's something to go off of. Because I just think it's smart. Oh, hi. Also, this way, if I'm stranded somewhere, maybe I ran out of gas and I don't know where to tell my parents where I am, I know. So that's what I was saying. I know that you can text someone your location, but if something really bad has happened, what was I gonna say? If you're stranded somewhere, my parents could see where I was, when I ran out of gas. They were like, oh, she's right here. And the last thing is just thank your parents. There's a good chance, if they paid for your driver's ed, your car, your insurance, your gas, and I know that there's a lot of people that have to pay for one or all of these things. I am very blessed that my parents did pay for all of them. And I'm really grateful, and I think you should just say, hey, thanks. Even if they just drove you to driver's ed, that's a big deal. And they supported you getting your driver's license, which is a pretty big deal. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I know it was a lot of advice, but if you take one thing from this, I think I will have done my job. If you guys have any other tips down in the comments, I leave them. We can just let each other know. Like I said, I will link that magnet down in the description. I'll make it the first link. Also, on my social media will be down there. I am most active on Instagram. yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not trying to be preachy. I just want to be helpful. So, bye guys.